Life's journey does not always pass through light. There comes a time when the body grows weak, when the eyes begin to lose their sight. Yet the lamp of thought and knowledge refuses to be extinguished. This is the story of a man who was a healer, a philosopher, and a scientist for all humanity. Muhammad ibn Zakaria Al-Razi. I may no longer see the world with the same clarity, but within me burns a light that is not faded, the light of knowledge. This was Rhazes' final chapter, when his eyesight failed him, but the radiance of his thoughts still lit the path of humanity. The silence of the night merged with the twinkling stars above Medina. Streets lay quiet, but in a small room, a lamp still glowed. The room was crowded with books, scrolls, and glass vessels filled with liquids shimmering faintly in the lamplight. The soft clinking of copper instruments echoed through the chamber. This was no ordinary room. It was the very place where observation and experiment merged to reshape history. And at the heart of it sat Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi. Lines of time and labor etched his face. His eyes bore the marks of exhaustion, yet deep within them flickered a flame stronger than sleep or worldly pleasure, the passion for knowledge. He bent over his manuscripts, writing with a hand steady and determined, crafting words that would guide humanity for centuries. A knock interrupted the quiet. A young student entered hesitantly, carrying a request.
Sir, a child burns with fever. His parents wait outside in despair.
Rhazi paused, closed his eyes for a moment, drew a deep breath, then softly said,
"Bring the child to me."
Moments later, a poor farmer entered, cradling his frail, fevered son. The child's eyes showed thirst and weakness. The father's gaze carried helplessness. Rhazi placed a hand on the boy's forehead, checked his pulse, then turned to the shelves of medicine. With calm assurance, he drew a vial, measured a few drops, and handed instructions to his student.
"Give him this medicine. Let him rest in a shaded place. God willing, he will recover."
The farmer left with his son. The student, watching in awe, asked,
"Master, after such endless work, do you never feel weary? You always give your time to others."
Rhazi smiled gently.
The purpose of knowledge is not to remain imprisoned in books, but to ease the suffering of humanity. If my knowledge can save a life, then that is the greatest act of worship.
The lamp glowed brighter. Outside, the moon spread its silver light. Inside, this man was writing history, a history the world would later call medical science. In these final years, though weakened by illness, Rhazi's resolve lifted him above pain. He was no longer just a physician. He was the guide of an age. The sun was setting, casting golden light upon the city walls. In his study, surrounded by scattered manuscripts, Al-Razi sat with a book open before him. His eyesight was dim, yet the brilliance of his mind remained undiminished. Students often wondered how, despite such weakness, he continued to write tirelessly. One evening, a student finally asked,
"Master, your body grows weaker each day. Do you not long for rest?"
Rest will come when I leave this world. For now, the little time left to me must be given to humanity.
"If I carry this knowledge to the grave, it will all be lost." The student's eyes welled with tears. Yet opposition also grew. Critics mocked his science. Some even sought to burn his works. But Rhazi never replied with anger. His only answer was knowledge. His only weapon, reason.
Life and death are in God's hands. Who are you to alter fate with medicine?
Rhazi replied calmly, "You are right. Life and death belong only to God. But God has given man reason and knowledge to serve humanity.
If a child burns with fever, and I know the cure, should I remain silent?
Or should I use this knowledge, which itself is God's gift?" Silence fell upon his critics. As illness deepened, his vision faded. Yet Rhazi continued teaching his students, writing books and experimenting with medicines. A close friend urged him,
Life has exhausted you. Put down the pen. Rest.
As long as I breathe, my pen will write. For I wish to leave behind prayers, not curses.
and so it was. His monumental works, Kitab al-Hawi, Kitab al-Mansuri, and Kitab al-Jadari wal-Hasba, guided physicians for centuries. In his final lesson, he told his students,
Never claim knowledge as your own. It is God's trust. Use it for the good of mankind.
His words sank deep into their hearts. They realized their teacher was not merely a scholar. He was a lamp, slowly fading, but one whose light would outlive him. Dawn broke. The first rays of the sun lit Medina. The streets were hushed. Men and women walked with bowed heads and tearful eyes. That day, history was written anew. For Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi had departed this world. His chamber, once filled with books, manuscripts, and glowing lamps, now lay in solemn stillness. His pen, once tireless, was silent. Students wept in silence. One said through his tears, "Our master told us that knowledge is God's trust. Now this trust has passed to us." Their grief turned into resolve. The flame he lit, they would never let die. After his passing, Rhazi's works spread across the world. His Kitab al-Hawi became a cornerstone in European universities for centuries. His distinction between smallpox and measles saved countless lives. His remedies and formulas paved the way for new treatments. Great physicians, from Avicenna to European scholars, revered him as their teacher. His works were translated into Latin, reaching the West, and even today his name shines in the history of medicine. The people of Medina remembered him not just as a physician, but as a saintly soul. The poor prayed for him. His students carried forth his wisdom. Even his critics acknowledged his greatness. His friends would say,
Rhazi did not merely teach us medicine. He taught us to feel the pain of others, the greatest act of worship.
It is
The
said
wisest
that
man of
days
his
before
age,
his death, he
Al-Razi,
told his students,
breathed his...
The true physician heals not only the body, but the heart and soul.
His words echoed through generations. On the day of his funeral, as his bier was carried through the streets, the people whispered, "This was the man who turned knowledge into service for humanity, a light that has not gone out, but burns brighter still." Centuries have passed, cities have changed, civilizations risen and fallen, but the flame of knowledge he lit endures. Every time a doctor prescribes medicine, every time a vaccine is discovered, every time a student opens a medical book, Rhazi's spirit lingers in the pages. His greatest lesson remains: knowledge and humanity cannot be separated. Knowledge confined to intellect alone is sterile. Knowledge that serves humanity becomes worship. It is said that on his final day he whispered, "O Allah, I have spent every moment of my life serving your creation. Make my knowledge an eternal light for them." And indeed, his books still rest on library shelves. His words still inspire students. His spirit still receives prayers from those who never met him. Imagine an ancient library shelf. A dust-covered copy of Kitab al-Hawi rests forgotten. A young student picks it up, opens it, and reads with awe. His eyes widen. His heart fills with respect. "This is not merely a book," he whispers. "This is the journey of a life." A gift from Al-Razi, still alive after centuries. And a voice echoes,
Knowledge is God's trust. Use it for humanity. This is the true legacy of Al-Razi.